Hey guys, welcome to our weekly team call. This week is a fun Instagram revamping training because it's not like a traditional training. And hopefully, can I just get a raise of hands who watched the Haley Christensen homework for like the team call? Most people? Most people? Okay. So most people. So that's good. And if you haven't and you're watching the recording and you haven't, we're just kind of gonna recap it, I think, and share like our biggest takeaways and then collaborate. And for anybody who's willing, we're gonna go over some Instagrams. We're gonna go over Instagrams, which I know can be scary, but but it can also be really helpful and really insightful. And we promise to be nice, which it's nothing. I mean, I don't know, Amber, if you want to say anything.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, good. I was having issues before. Yeah, so basically, Mary had an idea to kind of we want to just do more calls where we're interacting, and Mary had an idea, I think we were at Summit, and we were talking about kind of like doing, not homework, well, kind of like homework, like assignments, just so we could go over things together and just like, I feel like sometimes we have our best ideas on these one-on-one calls, like on our one-on-one calls, or just like when we're talking to another coach. And a lot of us have success partners, and if you don't, I suggest getting one because this is kind of beneficial for that reason as well. But I was having a one-on-one with Era, and I had recently watched this call that we're talking about, the Instagram training call, and sometimes we have a hard time seeing past our own stuff, and so she just gave me like great feedback. She just was like, because I was like, I can't think of a different thing to do. And she just suggested to do like a different angle, or where my mirror is always in the same place, to maybe move my mirror. And I was like, oh yeah, obviously, like that's so simple, So it kind of gave me the idea of like all of us doing that for each other. And like Kate said, if anyone's feeling brave, we can, I think Shelby already was like, somebody call me out. So we can volunteer ourselves. I don't know how much time we'll have, if we have time to like really critique everybody's Instagram, but maybe just a few of us could go and talk about like first impressions, like the feeling, the mood. I feel like that's a big thing that was on this training, which I liked. Not just content, but also like what kind of mood or vibe does your feed give across? And then it also touched on some things that I feel like since I became a coach almost 5 years ago, are still steady, like branding, things like that we'll kind of retouch on. So Instagram changes all the time. Social media is changing all the time, but I think that some things stay true, and sometimes it's just being re-inspired by something someone said or feedback that you get from someone on this team. So I think that's kind of the idea for the call. Kate, you talked about going over some of the bullet points kind of what she did, right?
Yeah. So, and okay. I actually watched because I took my notes the first time because I like the way that she worded things. And what's funny is I realized the second time when I watched it is that 2 years ago, I actually did a team call for Haley's team, and it was an Instagram training, and that's where she got your business is your storefront thing. I was like, oh, hey, that sounds familiar. Oh, wait. But so basically the whole idea behind Instagram too, and we've talked about this before, and just to cover this again, this is more about what you're posting versus like how to grow your Instagram. However, that being said, what you're posting has a lot to do with how your Instagram grows, because the more creative you are, the more scroll stopping your stuff is, what you're posting, that's going to attract new people. But your social media is your storefront. And this is my favorite analogy that I always like to use, because I worked in retail customer service jobs for years. And so when somebody comes in to like your business, that's like what they see first. So it's really important that you are posting on there, being consistent. And that's all stuff that you guys already know. But some just bullet points from the call were learning how to pair a scroll stopping photo with a really impactful caption. And then as far as brand goes, and I like that this touched on this too, because I think I'm in a part of my life where my brand is changing drastically, becoming a mom and like figuring that out. But I think one thing to remember too is if you did like a branding exercise 6 months ago, or even 2 months ago, or a year ago, your brand could have drastically changed in that time. Your interest could change, your mood could change, like Amber talked about. So like having brand identity points. So this is just something we want you to think about if you haven't thought about this, or maybe you have and you can share. But like, what are 5 to 6 of your brand identity points? For me, it'll be like a new mom, a cat mom. I'm like super outdoorsy. I'm paleo, and then fitness. Like those are like 5 things. So I think she said 6 things, but I just like the number 5. Like I like having 5, things that you are sharing about, that you're talking about on your social media. And then with that too, thinking about with your brand identity, your colors. And this goes back to the mood thing that Amber mentioned. And I hadn't really thought about this specifically, but like if you think about your colors and like how you do your hair, or how you do your makeup, or how you dress, like those are the colors that you are like seen in. And one thing that she said that I really loved was, it's not the colors that you want to be your colors, it's the colors that you actually wear. Because like I want to be this like bright, colorful person all the time, and I'm not. Like I think that's why years ago I had Amber do my hair like purple and pink, because I wanted to be this like bright person. And like I am bright, but like I wanted my feed to like have that energy, and that's not necessarily who I am in the day to day. So think about the color of like your life and your feed, and kind of like the mood, because that also goes with the filters that you use. And we've talked about this before, but making sure you have a consistent filter. And she also covered some apps that I'm sure you guys all know about, which is VSCO, which is one of my favorites, Lightroom, and also Snapseed. And I didn't know if there's actually, I like haven't played around with Snapseed too much other than like lightning things. I didn't know if there were actual filters. Like, I don't know when she was talking about that. But I use mainly VSCO or occasionally Lightroom. And that can give your feed like a solid mood. But it is important to have like a consistent look to your stuff and like a flow. And then another thing, so a big part of this was like the scroll stopping photo, and like trying opposite angles. And Amber used the example of like her hair and how she changed her hair in that photo. And if you look at that photo, I know exactly what photo you're talking about, because one, you had just dyed your hair, but also your hair was parted down the middle, like, and it just looked different. And so I stopped on that too. And I've thought about different things like that. Like, it's just very simple things that you can do if you're not used to, like, we all have our own angles. We all have a good side, right? You all know what your good side is, like how you take a picture, how you like selfie. Everyone, for the most part, have like their angles. So I think it was literally like last year or the year before, I was really trying to like change up my feed to make something more scroll stopping. And for the first time in my life, I took a selfie of like this side of my face, which we all have like our sides. I did like this side for the first time, which I'd always been really insecure about. And I said never looked like me, which is so funny because it's literally my face. But I'm just showing it like for an example of like different things that you can change, like different angles, or if you pose a certain way, or if you do your hair a certain way, like certain things can really grab people's attention and really make something scroll stopping. Because if you're posting like the same type of selfie every time or the same type of thing, it gets redundant and it doesn't grab somebody's attention. And if you're talking about the business opportunity, or you're talking about your challenge group, you want to grab people's attention. And then the other parts to a scroll stopping photo was like the illusion, what kind of illusion you're creating, the transformation. And one thing that she touched on that I like to remember for transformation photos, and I'm a clothes hoarder too for this reason, when you're doing photos before and afters, like transformations, always try to do a similar outfit, if not the same outfit, because it just catches people's attention. It makes the transformation more dramatic and like more noticeable. And always making sure like it's a similar, if not the same pose or the same angle in those photos. I think it's really important to remember. Or, and then the third part of like the scroll stopper she said was like the action shot. And with MM100, that's like a perfect time to do it. Everybody's doing those lightning bolt jumps. But like, or it could be like an action shot of you walking or like just getting yourself movement, because those are the things that create attention, but also making sure if it is like an action shot, I like to say like it's not blurry, like it's very on point. And then like most importantly, she said be creative and have fun. And that's something too, like when you're mixing things up, like just try to have fun with it. Like social media gets to be part of our job and it's always changing. It can feel overwhelming, but I just try to remember like what are ways I can have fun with my feed. I know for me, for instance, what is like scroll stopping for people is when I do like my makeup and I put on like a red lip or like a lipstick, I will, every time I get way more traction. And I don't do it every day because one, that would like defeat the purpose, and I just don't have that kind of energy. I just don't. But like if I really want to talk about like a coach workshop or if I want to get people's attention, I will do my makeup specifically. I normally like ready from here on up. Like I'll get like a cute top on and I'll do my makeup really pretty, and maybe I'll even wear a fun bralette, and then I'm normally in like my pajama pants. Let's be real. But like something to just create that attention, because I know that gets attention. Or I'll put on a cute outfit literally just for the sake of taking a photo, because I know people like that more than like my day-to-day average look. And I think it's important to share the reality too, but also when you want to get attention, if you're talking about something specifically, knowing what grabs people's attention. And then the caption crash course. Try to say that 5 times fast. I think the main points for that were the first 2 sentences matter the most, because if you sound just like everybody else, then people are just going to keep scrolling. So one thing that I like that she said was, remember who you're talking to. Try to speak to the person who you were before you got started. And then the same thing is like the last 2 lines matter too, because she mentions like the whole link in bio. We all fucking do it. We all do. But like saying something to grab somebody's attention and telling a story. And I also thought about this like showing versus telling when you're talking about, when you're ending a post or even starting a post, and just making a caption of like creating a story to get people's attention, versus just telling them what to do. Because when you tell a story, you create feeling. If you talk about your feelings, how you were feeling in that moment, people can relate to that feeling. I thought about it as like reading a book. You know, when you're reading a book and you really like when the authors paint a really good picture, because that keeps you like, that grabs your attention. That's what we want to do with our posts. I just liked that comparison. Like to me, that made sense. And always remember, talk about what's happening in the photo. Trying to do something that's related also always grabs attention. And then the other thing the other key point that I think she talked about that I really liked was 80% of coach, guys, it's hot. I'm pregnant. I'm sorry. 80% of posts should dial back to coaching, and 20% should dial back to challenge groups. Because like she said on that call, our team is also really good with stories. And stories are a really great way to showcase your challenge groups by sharing more transformation photos, by sharing your workouts, by sharing your nutrition. And you can do all those things on your page too. But I think it's important to talk about the coaching opportunity or tie that in more. Also because I know it's harder to talk about. And the only way you're going to get better at talking about it, and we all want to grow our team. We all want to grow like our teams, and we all want to grow our businesses. And at the end of the day, that comes back to like coaches. And if you're not talking about coaching, you're never going to attract coaches besides maybe discount coaches. So it's important that 80% of your 80% of your posts go back to coaching, and like 20% go back to challenge groups. So, and it can even be like mentioning it. It doesn't have to be a full post about it either. But yeah, so those were the main points of the call. I don't know if anybody else wants to share their takeaways.
Amanda, I know that you were fired up after watching it. did you, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, I just been focusing more on being more me. I don't know. Yeah, one-liners in the beginning and just like not being like mushy, soft about things. And I cuss a lot. And that's me. So, yeah, I was actually just like looking at my page and now I'm embarrassed. I think the blue hair helps. Um, but yeah, I just been just like kind of just like talking more about like weird parts that people are afraid to talk about. Not really provoked by like anything in particular. I do kind of take some like conversations I have with people and just try to make it as like blunt as possible, especially when it comes to like money objection or time, stuff like that. But yeah, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on like building your following and stuff. I think that's probably why I'm so tired. It's been a lot of studying today, but that's about it. Engagement's been like a little bit better. I think it's like helpful that I'm spending more time like talking to people, like actually like talking to people. So yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you. I just wanted to call you out because you came to mind. I also think it's not just your hair. I do feel like your feed is very colorful like you are, because it's not just your hair. Like you do wear like, I mean, you wear a lot of black too, but you wear a lot of like bright colors, you know, like pops of colors. So I feel like it is true to like who you are. And you post a lot, which is great. You're always like, I feel like that's something that we all need to work on. Is just posting more. And like what Kate is going over, and like for anyone that's like maybe newer too, we're going over, you know, this call, like some ideas of like Instagram training, but I think it's important to remember that it's not just about creating like scroll stopping stuff. Like, yes, that's important, but the reason why we want for people to stop their scroll is because we're in a sea of other Instagrammers and we want people to see like what we're trying to offer people, but never discredit the people that like the followers you already have, the people that are already in your life. And then like remembering that it is a storefront. So you want to be showing up consistently, but keep in mind, just don't get like super hung up. You want it to be pretty and you want to have a message, but I think that if you are aiming to post every single day and you're going off of your like branding, like your top 5, and you're adding invites in there and staying authentic, then that's going to create your storefront to like keep building. And then you can start to perfect the colors and all that stuff. I called Amanda out also and talked about her colors because she's been coaching for 3 years almost, right? And it was our three-year friend anniversary today. So she became a coach soon after that. So, but for anyone that's like newer, hopefully this will just like inspire you to think about your feed in a way that it is like your storefront. I personally love to do a mixture of fluff. Like she talked about that on the call too. I thought that was like a good thing to talk about. Not every single post has to be your life story. It can be just like simple, just something about whatever else you're into. And so I'll do that. Like I'll have a post where it's something like more meaningful, more of like story, more about, more like deep. And then I'll have something that's just lighthearted and silly. I always like to think one post that was like, I didn't even feel like posting it, but it was like I was getting my nails done and I was drinking it was like so basic. I was getting my nails done, I was drinking Starbucks, and I was sitting in the pedicure chair, and I said, when baby daddy hands you his card and go, he had so much interaction. And it was like, I remember thinking in my head, I should just probably post something today. I don't know what, I don't feel cute, but this is kind of funny. Like it popped in my mind, and it was like me just being funny, me, like what I would text my friend, So that was something that like I posted, nothing to do with health and fitness, but like it did stop people and made them want to comment and say stuff. So it's like we have to remember to just like make sure that we're still being us and sharing the things that we would text our friend if it's appropriate. It can still make it to your feed. And of course I filtered it. I filter everything. So yeah. Were you going to say something else, Amanda? I was like talking. I thought I saw your hand go up.
All right. So for me, I don't use filters just because I'm outside, I'm inside. So I use Photoshop Express I have a subscription just from doing photography. And I just kind of mess with it a little bit. I like bring down the temperature and up the vibrance and just kind of the contrast, like really simple. Just because I'm like all over the place, so I can't really use like a filter. So, and I also have like a really red face, and I don't know what's going on with the rest of me, but so I mess with that. Rachel loves that. And so what also I've been focusing on, like especially like those last two or last line, I'm just like eliminating like link in bio because I hate doing it. I'm just like over it. So what I do is I make sure I just like in my stories, like I'm doing polls. The Instagram like research that I've been doing is like a lot is happening. People are more gravitating towards stories, and that's a lot easier and that's a lot less scary to do because it's like, oh, they're gone in 24 hours. So I do like polls so you can interact. And then I, link in bio, stuff like that. And I just kind of go through all of that. So that kind of like, I guess like, yeah, that part of it I put into my stories, and then my posts, I just try to like, I'm not like super hyper focused on like scroll stopping every single time because I think I would just die from the pressure. So I just like, I try to just, I also, sorry, I'm just like all over the place right now. I also do like whenever I'm thinking of something, I keep like notes, like posts and stuff like that. And also on Instagram, you can save in your drafts. If you have like a photo and you're like, this photo's dope. Can't use it today because I already posted. So you can just like write in there and save it in your drafts, because there are going to be days where you're like, I don't feel like thinking about this, but you already thought of something brilliant and you saved it in your drafts, and then you just, yeah. Thanks. And yeah, you just post it. And then it's done, and then save yourself some time too.
I definitely do want to emphasize like every post shouldn't be scroll stopping, because I think that defeats the purpose of scroll stopping, because like it's mainly if you're trying to, I think, attract, like if you're doing a call to action for coaching or challenge group, that is like when you want I think the importance of it is like the most important, but like showing your day-to-day life too and remembering who you are. I know just because things have been so crazy in my life, like this year, I definitely haven't been as consistent with my posts. But one thing, like as I'm leading up to the baby coming, I'm like, I just need to schedule things more, and I'm not a scheduler. So on Sunday, I wrote out like different ideas for posts for each day. And it's something that like I talk to coaches about, and I suggest coaches do too. But even like 6 years almost into this, I was like, this is what I need right now. I need to like brain dump, and I just need to come up with things. And like, it was like post ideas, and I said from August 5th through 11th. And I just did like Monday through Sunday. And I did like goal to do like 2 to 3 posts a day, because I've been doing like 1 a day or missing a couple days, which isn't what I want to do. And I'm like, talk about coaching or my challenge group at least once a day. And then it's like, but also tying other things in. So at least once a day, I have something else that I'm talking about other than coaching or MM100 or whatever it is that I'm doing the call to action about. But just like writing that out, like helped me create that like creative space for that. I want to call Katie out because I know she's obsessed with Haley. She knows. She always knows. And I know she watched that call. So Katie.
I know, Kate. I literally can like feel my spidey like tingles when you are just about to call me out. So I think that's hilarious. I really liked that call. I really liked how she talked about the beginning, and trying to like use that first 2 sentences to like grab people's attention. I've also been, this wasn't really from the call, but I've also been like working on the format of my captions. A big paragraph, people aren't going to read so much. And so I'm trying to keep it to like every like 1 or 2 sentences I'm chunking out. And that gets a little difficult because Instagram can be a big pain in the butt with not giving you the space or the layout that you thought you were going to do. So the one trick that I found with that was if you end your sentence with a period, it's going to automatically give you a space. You have to delete that space, hit enter twice, and then that will give you that like paragraphed kind of look. Now, I've done it before, and like I want to say maybe 5% of the time it doesn't really work. That's completely made up, but like very little bit amount of time it doesn't work. But then when you go back and like maybe try to edit your post, you can't edit it out if it didn't give you that space. So I think there are some apps that you can format your captions through that make it a hell of a lot easier. I just haven't dove into that. So I've been working on spacing things out so it's easier for people to read. I have a really hard time using the same filter on every picture because my lighting isn't always the same. Like you can see right now, my lighting in my living room is terrible. I get natural light from this window, but my light bulbs are yellow. And my walls are like a tan yellow. And so I have to take that yellow really far down. But then if I go outside and take an outside picture, I have to change things. So my biggest struggle right now is I'm trying to find the balance of like a filter that makes my feed look completely consecutive. But I'm also a person who doesn't want to like everything to look completely 100% filtered. I want it to just look like sharper and brighter. You can't really tell now. My hair is like a silvery gray. So I agree with, or I think too with Amanda, like having really cool hair totally helps. Same thing with like your nails. I am a diehard acrylics person. I get my acrylics done every 2.5 weeks. So I put polls in my stories because I ask for their opinions. And people love telling me how they want me to get my nails done. From colors to shapes and things like that. I'm probably going to start posting like a picture of them on my feed more just to like include that into my brand, just because it is something I do so consecutively. And I really love like different cool acrylic nails. So I was kind of all over the place, but that's kind of what I've been learning with my Instagram, what I'm kind of growing for. I use Lightroom. I have purchased a few presets and then played with them on my own, but I loved the suggestion from the video to go on Pinterest and look for Lightroom recipes because I paid like $20 for a couple of my presets. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, and to me, that's like a lot of money to pay for a filter for your pictures, to be quite honest. And it's not even a filter that I can use on every picture. So from that call, she said to screenshot your whole camera roll, not filtered at all. Like your pictures, like just say, I know in like Apple, sometimes they have like a selfie folder that all your selfies go to. So like screenshot that one, put that in Lightroom, and then play with the different like saturations, the contrast, try the different recipes from like Pinterest. And then you can save it as a preset. So you can like play around and like save it. So I've saved presets that are literally just tweaked a little bit because for different lighting situations. But yeah, I think Instagram is just a learning experience really, and just like keep trying and doing what you like. That's it.
There really is something to the cool hair thing. That is why when I first went full time for like the first year and a half, I constantly was doing my hair. Looks like Mary's ready. Mary. Yes.
Hi guys. I just wanted to, I really liked the training. I've been trying to utilize a lot of it in my own posts recently. So I've just found, I really liked her like caption information, kind of like what that first line to kind of target the audience you want to talk to. And I really kind of have been utilizing that quite a bit, just because not necessarily every single post, but I'm finding that that's going to be, if they read the first sentence, I kind of want that to be what draws them in. Because a lot of times, especially with large captions, if you start with a paragraph and they see it's going to be a paragraph, they're going to be like, oh, well, buckle up or keep scrolling. So I like to do kind of the one sentence that's a little bit of a, I don't know, like a hook. And my most recent photos, because I went on vacation and I shared quite a bit from that. Most recently, it was my bikini pic that had no caption, just like 3 emojis that got the most likes.
So I think it's kind of funny sometimes that we put a lot of time into captions, and then sometimes you just throw up a picture in a bikini and don't put any caption, and that's the one that gets all of the activity. I've been playing with, I have an Android, so I've been playing with Photo Editor, and I've really liked that. It's just a free app. I haven't had to buy anything on it. I like the filters in it, and I like that it gives you kind of like the ability to add a highlight or kind of like a weird light effect, and I kind of like putting that on there, and it's not really even noticeable. It's very subtle, but I really kind of like seeing it in there. Just kind of a little halo almost sometimes in different parts of the photo. So yeah, I really liked the training. I thought it was very informative, a little on the long side. I did have to break it up into 2 pieces. But I mean, that's sometimes you just got to dig in and give it the time. If you don't go back to it, then you're not really going to get everything out of it. But I did have to watch it in 2. So that's all I had.
What you said reminded me of a way that I remembered from Amy telling me to like get people's attention if you're posting like on a Saturday or Sunday, because unless it's a Sunday evening, people are generally not on their phones until Sunday evening in the weekend. So like if you say something around like, I don't think anybody's going to read this, that automatically makes somebody want to read this. Obviously, again, don't do it every day. But like those type of things are the things to grab people's attention. So just thinking about different ways to do that, because it is about getting people hooked in, drawing them in, but also having fun captions too. Like I just posted a picture of my belly and said, just like did some little quote about pregnancy or wanting to meet my baby or something. I don't even remember right now. I'm so brain dead. I don't even remember. But I did text Amber before and I was like, is this okay to post? Just so you know.
One more thing I was going to mention. I've really tried to like, because she mentioned changing your angles, and that was one thing I really tried to do. Like I'll have one that's like a picture from like, you know, chest up, and then I'll make sure I have maybe like a full length body picture, and then like maybe I'll have one where I'm like just finished a workout, like on my knees, like, you know, something like, just I try to change up that thing, because I notice sometimes, like especially if I get really busy, I get a lot of pictures where it's just like me taking a selfie, and like when I notice that I have like 3 selfies in a row and it's just like here up in my face, like I know that those aren't eye-catching every time. And so I've really worked on trying to make it so like I get different angles. Self-timer is your best friend. Give yourself 10 seconds and pose, and don't give a shit if anybody around you is watching you do it, because if you crack a laugh, you'll probably even get a more genuine smile, and your picture will look good too. So I've learned to really like not care if I like ask my boyfriend to take my picture in public, or just set up my phone like on a shelf in a store to take a picture of me and like fake flowers. Because that angle, like that differentiating, it just makes your feed look just different and variety. And I've noticed that I really like that too. So just wanted to share.
I've also been caught in some really weird photo positions by my neighbors, and I don't even know what they think that I do for a living, but not this. I don't know if now we kind of want to dive into like since we have like 20 minutes left, the like kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me. What was it?
Like auditing?
Yeah, you just confused. I know what you mean, like peer feedback.
Yeah.
Peer critique. Oh, sorry. Shelby wanted to go. Does everyone go look at Shelby's? Everyone go look at Shelby. I just had it up.
Wait, but maybe if we're doing this, let's share like an Instagram. Okay, you shared your Instagram handle. You are on it, Shelby.
Shelby and Wellness for anyone watching the recording.
This is so funny. We're all just creeping on her Instagram right now.
Shelby, I didn't know you liked Converge. That banner that's in the back in your bedroom. That's dope.
Okay. I like the variety going on, but what I'm going to say is I want more of your face. Because if I scroll back, I see you with the coffee mug. And your face is in there. But you're so cute. And I think I actually noticed that when I wanted to shout you out for Emerald. I was like, where is there just a picture of her face? And that's not a bad thing. But that's just the first thing that comes to mind. More of Shelby's face.
Yeah, and I was also gonna say I like the variety. I want to see more of your face, and that's but I also like your food photos a lot too. So I like they're bright. The strawberry cucumber salad looks really delicious, and that makes me want I stopped and looked at that twice already. So the next thing is I'm just looking at the dates, and again, I haven't been the best about this either, but posting more consistently. But I do like the variety that you show. I love the action shot that you have of the for the bang shoes. But it's so cute.
One thing that Kate had told me when we first started, I don't know if this still applies, but the white borders around the pictures, it kind of throws off the flow of the grid when I'm looking at it. So the sunflower picture and the one with the two little girls is giving me just vibes. It's so cute. But just having that, the white around it throws off the just flow a little bit. I think if you were to maybe all of your middle pictures lined up and had that, and so it made it a pattern, that would work. But I can tell too, you're trying to fit everything in the picture, I'm sure, and that's why you do that. I would do that a lot too. I've just tried to figure out ways to crop that so you get just a more fluid look. But those two little girls are so cute.
I'm trying to multitask and water my cat right now. I kid you not. The things that I do. But I think that's awesome. And who wants to go next?
I have no idea what to do with my Instagram whatsoever. And I used to be a one post a month type of person. So I absolutely would love some feedback. I'm going to throw my Instagram in here in the chat.
I can't make this up, you guys. Amber's bottle feeding Violet, and I'm water dropping my
Jacqueline. So I just started following you today, actually. So I noticed when I was looking at your page, I really like the different hair. And I think that the picture with, I think it's a cake that you're holding, it's super cute. So I feel like having more pictures with food might be good because I feel like you have a lot of pictures with your kids, which isn't bad, but you're not just a mom. So I think reaching out to more people, because I see you have coffee addict in there and then keto stuff, so just doing more of a variety of food and not just mom and workout.
Yeah, I'm a big selfie pic person. I actually looking at Shelby's, I just made a mental note to myself that I really need to post food pics because I post food stuff in my story constantly and I'm always getting people replying to me about the fun food that I make. So I made ice cream before and I'm going to post a picture of it in my feed. I have to do that.
I was gonna say, like, I watch your stories too, and I messaged you about the ice cream thing. I was like, what are you doing? You know, so like I've like already like I like watching your feed for that stuff too. And you're hilarious. And I love watching I like seeing your like all the aspects of your life. So but I agree. I mean, I feel like since you said that you were just like posting once a month and you've only been a coach for like what, 30 days? Like not even 2 weeks. Okay. And she already hit Success Club last month. So you've definitely like stepped it up, which is awesome because now you're like thinking more about this as like a business and like I think also for your own accountability. So I agree. I think just more food picks, more like food ideas. I really do feel like as somebody that like since you have experience with keto, there's so many people out there that could use help, like either transitioning from keto to more, you know, like, excuse me, are you pooping? Like just changing to a more, you know, different meal plan, like portion fix or to be mindset or whatever. But I feel like you probably already have people that trust you and know you for that maybe. And like, so I feel like anyone that has any experience with keto or anything that's like any kind of meal plan or anything that's like at all create like getting people's attention, I feel like it's because I have a friend that's keto and she's been like, I can't do Beachbody because of Shakeology. I can't do Beachbody because of Shakeology. And I'm like, yes, you can. You just have to like, yeah. So I feel like talking about that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like how you can not like, yeah, that's anyways, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. All right, food picks.
But yeah, I like everything that you share, so just more. So I think the thing is just more. I love your transformations too.
Thanks. I feel like a hot MFer now, so.
So Era wanted to go, I think. What is your handle, girl?
Any sort of critique is very helpful. Obviously, I prefer constructive, just like anyone else.
One thing I like right off the bat is you do have like you have a grid going on with your quotes, and that if you're going to do that, I like that visual right off the bat. And
Yeah.
you definitely have a mood. Your mood is purple. Your color is purple.
Yeah.
This is a big example of what they talked about in that training too.
I'm personally, tell Bruce I said hi, by the way. Everybody love him. Love him so much.
Yeah, he was a weirdo. He was super excited about Violet. Yeah, that was surprising.
So I think you could add more food photos in because your food photos are really pretty, eye-catching.
That's what I noticed the other day. Like last month was just a weird month. So after I listened to the call, I went through my feed and she said to look at that 6-photo block and you should have one thing representing each part of your like your brand or your identity. So food, I definitely agree.
I'm going to say, so I know you just posted a transformation photo like 4 days ago, but you have had such a, like, I mean, you guess you do it pretty often. I would, okay, maybe not. I was going to say do that more, but I guess when I scroll back, you were doing it. But just like as of like the last, I almost feel like you should do one every like 4 or 5 days.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, that's what
They're so good.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And this month I'm going like vegan. So I'm going to see how that like impacts the results. I'm very much an experimental sort of person. And I think that's why my page shifts so much because I want to see what will attract different people.
I really liked, I noticed on your page, because I've been following your Instagram for a while and I have mad grid envy because I think it looks really good. But there was like, if you scroll back, it's like the one with the mustache cup, and then this whole side is food lined up. I did really like that. Because I like that they're kind of like all right there, and because you do take really pretty food photos, it made it just like very easily accessible. I don't know if you necessarily need to have them like one after the other. Like you could do every other one maybe, but I noticed when you were doing that and I really liked it. It's just pleasing for the eye in that sense. But I do like your quote grid too, and I really love how you share like so much about yourself and your journey. Like I feel like I know you and we've never even met in person. But I love that you like share about Ian, you share about your dog, you share about your life experiences, your family, like I think that that's really cool. So just wanted to give you props on that you share very well.
I was gonna say, Era, I've always envied your style choices, clothing wise. So I feel like recently you've posted a lot of like stomach and up, where if you do more like full body with outfits, because you're really good with your words, and then like an eye-catching photo of a really pretty outfit, like that video you did when you got all those outfits in the mail. That was so cute. I watched it like 3 times. I'm like, those outfits are adorable.
Okay, thank you. That's good. I like to think I'm a fashionable person, but I refrain from posting it often because most of the time I'm wearing like Palazzo yoga pants and.
But I feel like that's the contrast that people are going to relate to, because you're like bombing it out, but then you're also looking like fabulous on other days.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the constructiveness there.
Anyone else want to go?
Anyone else? Oh, Rachel wants to go. Throw your handle in the chat.
I'm going to use the excuse that I'm premenstrual and I can't handle constructive criticism today.
The cleaning guy just walked down on me and looked so confused.
I'm going to use the excuse that I'm on day 4 of Ultimate Reset and I can't handle criticism today either.
I know, go easy on me, guys. Well, the thing is, there's not much to look at, and I'm fully aware of that. I'm the worst at posting. Mine's going to be like every 9 days, and it's super scattered, but that's like a glimpse into what my brain looks like. It's super scattered in there, so lay it on me.
My first like constructive criticism is that your page versus your stories is drastically different, and I only know that because I follow you. Like in your posts, you know, I don't see a whole lot of your like super charming fucking personality. Like I want to see more of that. And just like your workout video that you posted last month, I love that more because I get to see more of your personality. Does that make sense? Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it. I have a hard time trying to put photos versus my stories, which is why I've been trying to like hop on the stories train so much.
Even this
and then also, I know I tried on that one. That was like a really, I'm still at work right now and it's 7:00. And so like, I'm never home in the night. I mean, in the daytime. So like all I get is night shots, which is why I did that one. Not to like make excuses, but like I've been thinking about that a lot, Era, where like I struggle to get my personality out through those tiny little cubes and those photos, which is why I gravitate towards stories.
That's fair. But like your Shakeology photo of that like background, I see bits of it. I think you maybe ask somebody to take photos of you and be a dork in front of the camera.
I definitely think you're adorable and I want to see more of your face. It's like, you're super pretty, you're adorable, I want to see more of your face. And I think just like holding on to those pockets of time, like on your days off, like loading up with content and just saving those things and then sharing people like the real and like bathroom selfies or mid-work selfies or like finding different ways to.
It's a bathroom selfie. That's definitely a bathroom selfie. Yeah, it's really funny. I was thinking about that as we were talking, like we were talking about engagement, and I literally get the most engagement when I post selfies of my face like this close up, which is so uncomfortable for me. Like I hate that vulnerability. And I also feel like, and it's this old thought process, right? Of like us like posting selfies thinking, oh, she's so obsessed with herself. Like that's the self-thought that I get. But then that's what everyone wants to see according to my engagement. Like as soon as I post a selfie, everyone's like, like. And so I'm like, okay, I guess that's what they want to see. But I just always think that people immediately think that I'm self-obsessed, and that's not the case at all.
No, I think it's because you are super, super pretty and your hair is fabulous. So that's definitely why. And I'm sure that you've probably heard this before, but you look just like, you really remind me of Bryce Dallas Howard.
Never heard that.
No?
No. I get a lot of different celebrities, but that's a new one.
Yes.
I think you should talk about that in a post about like selfies and stuff like that, and just be like, I don't know, it would probably be pretty therapeutic. So yeah, timer on your phone. Like my boyfriend now takes photos of me, and he's a videographer, photographer, so I'm spoiled in that way. But when I was single for like a year, I got really good at like finding places to prop my phone. Like I'm just like amazing. Like I'm a dog owner, so I'm really good at finding garbage cans. So, and then I found places to prop my phone. And also on Amazon, like I don't have it now, but you can buy like an anti-gravity case, and it's like a sticky back, and it's got like a cover you can peel off, and you can just stick it on like glass or metal, maybe not so much wood, but that helps. I did that for a little while too. And you just set the timer and whatever, I don't know. But yeah, like even like propping up, like I always bring a water bottle, so when I'm like going on walks, there's like murals and stuff like that, I just like prop it up. And sometimes it's like kind of a weird angle, but yeah, you just kind of like get extra creative with the solo selfies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add something. I think because Rachel, you had another Instagram, right? I was trying to find it because like
I have 3 Instagrams.
Okay. So I agree. I just think that you need, like, part of it's that you need to post more, but maybe, and I know you created this Instagram for like your wellness and this side of the business, but everything else about you is so interesting. I mean, I didn't even know until I talked to you, like where you worked, until we did our call. And like, I just feel like you have just like the fact that you're into sports and you're into all these other things. I think I first found you because your lipstick you were posting. Is that why we became friends like 4 years ago on Instagram? I feel like I asked you about your lipstick. Like,
I don't know.
But I'm just saying that's not, so when I started my Instagram, I just like added it to mine, but I've been able to connect with a lot of people over hair, fashion. I think that might've been why I've connected with some of you guys. So I think that maybe part of it is that you're like, I'm at work, I can't, like, how am I supposed to share the shake and the workout, but share more of just like you in there. Cause that's all part of it. And I don't think it's going to confuse anyone if you're posting, as long as you just are upping the posting in general and making sure that you are throwing some wellness stuff in there. But yeah, I know what you mean about feeling like self-absorbed, but I mean, people want to see it, and just think about like all of us, like we're all posting ourselves, and and it's like, it's okay, you know? So yeah, I'm just kind of agreeing with everyone. More of you and your awesome personality. I know it's hard with your work schedule, but
I know. I was just going to mention that. I was thinking about that today on my stories, and I know you and I have had that conversation before, but like I'm at work all day, every day, and all I get is like this little view from my desk that I have to share, and I don't feel like that's just a lot, and it bums me out. So, I mean, Caitlin has a good point of like trying to, kind of get as much content as I can when I'm out on the weekends, but Even then, I don't know.
I worked at Starbucks was what I had to do. Like, it wasn't fun because I was in an apron. I was covered in like frap syrup. It was not pretty. My cat's just knocked something over in the background. And so what I would do is on the weekends, I would just go out, and then I would take, if I would go somewhere, I would take like 3 different outfits, or I would like dress up in different outfits and change my makeup or change like my lip color, take a bunch of photos. And that's just like what I did because it was just what I had to do at the time. And that's how I, layers. You can put on so much stuff, but just.
I have a question though, Rachel. So do you have like, what about like your food that you bring to work? Do you buy lunch? Do you bring lunch?
Both.
Is there a way to take a photo of it? I'm just trying to think of what
I do. And I do, and I put it in my stories. So I get lunch here, and then I also bring lunch, and I usually just put it in my stories because, again, I'm like, do people want to see my photos of food on my thing? It's just me overthinking shit.
I feel like I'm looking at your page right now, Rachel, and I see that like in your bio you have wellness coach, and then you have stuff about yoga, and then I knew that you had another page, but I feel like what I really liked when I first met you, like I didn't follow you at first until after Summit. Well, at Summit I started following you. And then you did the tarot reading for all of us. And I feel like that's something you could post about because that's something you're learning about. So like you already are kind of like knowledgeable in the whole yoga thing. And I really liked when I looked later, like earlier in your post, you had yoga posts, like poses. I feel like a lot of people who don't do yoga but want to do it, seeing you do a move could learn from that. And then like, I don't know if you watched the call that we were all talking about with Haley Christian's team, but she does this thing where it's how I'm going to use it to schedule my posts, but you choose what your brand is. So like if you are like, your outfits were really cute at Summit when we weren't in workout clothes, and like the tarot card thing and yoga and food, like going like 1 through 6, that's already 6 days out of 7 that you can post, and just like making it your cycle every week. So like what Kate said about like stocking up on pictures, but then maybe just like change your outfit on some of those. So then you like, if you're going to go in the woods and take a yoga pose, like take 2 different workout outfits and just change somewhere and then take a separate pose. No one's going to know.
I love that. Thank you.
Does anybody?
Okay, enough of me, you guys. Let's end this call. My God.
I'm going to see because it's 7:03 if anybody else wants theirs done.
We have one new coach tonight, I think, too. So I would love to hear her pronounce her name. Or at least maybe not one, but I know someone said that they were new to this call tonight and they have a very interesting first name and we don't want to butcher it. So please share.
Oh wait, you're muted.
Hello?
Yes.
Am I sorry? I don't know how to work this thing, but my name is Anya. So nice to meet you guys. This was awesome. I learned a lot. So really happy to be here.
Thanks, Anya. I'm glad you're here. I just want to say that Anya just signed up as a coach, and she was telling me she also posted about this today. I think it was today. It's been a long day. But she was talking about how she watched us watch people coach for like 2 years before she decided to go just do it already. So you never know who's watching you.
That's true. Sorry to like go over you. I would just like find just how we were talking today on Instagram, just like randomly, like, okay, just by people I'm interested in, like, Amber, you're one of the first coaches I saw to. I'm like, oh, she has tattoos. Like, I have tattoos. You can't tell. I'm like that just draws you in people's lifestyles to not just all about like health and fitness and stuff. But so yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And I think that's important to remember too. Think about when you're posting what drew you to your coach. I also know Katie Holstner followed me for like 2 years. 2 years with me before she decided to join.
Like, yeah, I followed Kate for a really long time and was like, I want to be her best friend. I want to be really good friends with her. I want to be friends with this girl. And then it was like, all right, how can okay, she's getting fit. I want to get fit. and like all of so it really is like it probably took me 2 years to actually reach out to Kate after she reached out to me multiple times over those 2 years. And then it took me like 9 months to sign up.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You didn't sign up right away. Like you were gonna sign up and then you ghosted me.
Yeah. I was in like 4 coaching sneak peeks, like over and over, and fully participated and was just like mulling it over. And I still say it's like the best decision I've ever made for myself to like become a part of this community and just for my own like health and everything. And even if I don't make $1 million, even though I'd like to make $1 million, this is still like the best choice I've ever made. So thanks, Kate.
Yeah, I think we have time for one more. Amanda, if you guys are down. I mean, if you guys want.
I'll do it. My baby's not crying right now, but then I gotta go.
I screwed up my fingers are too fat for the keyboard, so it's Heart Forward Health, and I am pretty new, so
Right away, I love your like outdoorsy photos. That's definitely like your brand is like outdoorsy, and I love just that vibe. I definitely want to see, just by looking at it a little bit, more of your like more selfies and more like workout selfies. Or like how that fits into your, but you can do that with like outdoorsy stuff, like how that fits in. But like right away, I love that vibe and that color scheme that you just have from like being outdoors.
I'm going to say food because I'm looking at your little highlight reel of your food and it looks amazing. And then I go to your page and I only see like 2 or 3 things in the last couple weeks. So post more of your food because it looks delicious.
Yeah, I do think I want to post more food because I'm basically a chef at a restaurant, and so I can make food look really pretty too, so I should invest in that.
I think you can take so many different pictures in a day if you're making so many different things, even if you post your restaurant food. I mean, that right there is just like some content you can speak to. You're making it even if you're not the one eating it.
That's super, super brilliant because I make salads all fucking day, like all day, and they're super pretty. So that's a really good idea.
And people get obsessed with like pretty food. Like when I did my food bowls consistently, which I need to get back to, it was literally like me throwing together random shit that was in my fridge, and it was like the easiest thing that I just took 5 extra minutes to like make it pretty and throw it together. And like people love seeing that stuff. So own that and totally make that part of your brand.
I would really like to see another like full body transformation pic because I had to scroll a little bit to find one. Do it. You look good. Do it up.
Thank you.
That's exactly what I was going to say too. Is there's a lot of like your selfies are really cute, but it's a lot of like chest up. And so like, I think like just even the like in nature pictures, just being more like just showing more of yourself, maybe more like action shots in that sense, which we all know action shots, like unless you're jumping, like they're posed, walking away from the camera, whatever. But something like that I think would be good too, just to see more of you in that sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with what everybody's saying. Some more transformations, more food, but I do like the nature and the color vibe. It feels really just good when I'm looking at it. I just want to see more.
Sorry,
I was just gonna say real quick, Shelby. Also, you only have 437 followers. I know you could get more, and a lot of that has to it's not just the lack of your awesomeness. It's like probably spending more time engaging and liking and commenting, just like doing that stuff that we all have to do, because your feed's great and there's no reason why, you should have more eyes on you, but that's just going to happen by, I think, posting more food stuff and more before and afters, but also just doing some of that behind the scenes work that we all have to do, just connecting so Instagram wants to show our stuff.
I was gonna say, I feel like you and I have talked before about a lot of different things, like in DMs, and I feel like you're really passionate about things that you care about, and your pictures are really good, but your captions are really short. So if you spend more time like portraying from your heart, like in your words, I feel like that would really benefit you too. If someone's like not watching your stories and they can click on a picture, they can like kind of read a story that goes along with that picture as well. So
Thank you. Just in the last month, I've really done really, really long captions, and I had a friend who was like, yeah, your captions are really long, and that kind of like got in my head a little bit. So fuck that. I need to just do it.
Yes. Seriously, I know how that is. Like when I first came out as a coach, I wrote a thing about it on my Facebook about, I mean, I had this big passionate thing about my parents, and like it meant a lot to me. And this girl I work with was like, yeah, I couldn't like read past the first couple lines because it was just like too long for me. And I was like, like it hurt so bad. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna prove y'all wrong. And I did.
People were mean to you though, Amber. Like people like
super mean.
World. I'll never forget those text messages you sending me. My friends are like unfollowing me to see who, if I would notice. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so you just have to keep going. Unless, like, they're people's opinions, unless they're joining your freaking groups, they don't fucking matter, in my opinion. Like, you know, like when you're taking photos, Amber and I have done some really weird photos over the year, or taken photos and gotten funny looks from people. And like, you know, if you've been with me, you know what we'll do. I'll do whatever to get a photo. But like, it doesn't matter. Like the looks, the comments, whatever, don't matter unless they're following you, unless they're engaging with you, unless they're joining your groups. But really, like, even that, people's opinions, like family or otherwise, don't pay your bills. I've been made fun of from family, and I've been like, and you know, and friends, but I just like, I'm like, you're not a part of my business, like physically, like you're not investing in my business, so I don't care. Sorry.
Real quick, I also want to say Nicole's not on this call, but her dad actually was like, you're talking too much. I'm only following you because I want to like see the kids, and was basically like annoyed with her for trying to run her business. And, you know, it was really hurtful, but but she's also really close to Diamond, and she just didn't let it stop her. So just remember that like some people have mean dads even. Like it sucks like that. I think it's just coming from a place they just don't get it. Like they're just like, you're doing something different and I don't like it, you know? And so they don't even really, I don't think they even understand how like hurtful it can be. So yeah, this way you got us.
Yep. Well, I think this was a really good call. And this was also like fun. And we can definitely do like an IG one again, I think. But I will get up this recording soon, and I definitely just like the collaboration and the everybody interactive.
What Grot? What's that guy's name?
Groot.
That's what it is.
Groot. Baby Groot.
Oh my gosh. All right, bye guys. Thanks.